What's that Sabbath song? What the fuck is it? Is it Electric Funeral? The fucking waves falling into night. Tell me you're gonna die.
I have no idea.
That's fucking electric. You fucking
Mind decay. No,
yeah.
Whatever that is.
Radiation, minds decay. Bow, bow.
No, because at the end of Electric Funeral, they're like electric funeral,
Yeah.
electric funeral.
Yeah.
I don't know how you'd get there from there.
You do though, I swear. Like it's just, there's like some crazy jazz drum solo, and then it's spaz out. Electric Funeral. Yeah, fucking. I love that album. My mom had that cassette. Like, fucking, it wasn't her choosing to own that album. I think one of her friends gave her like a cassette that happened to have "Paranoid" by Black Sabbath on side A, and fucking. It might have been UB40 on side A and Black Sabbath on side B. But I remember even like 9, 10, just like swinging on the swing set in the backyard, fucking listening to Paranoid,
Just going
like,
to town on
into
it.
metal. Like,
I'm gonna flip over this whole fucking swing set.
like, fuck this UB40 side. No, you couldn't flip that swing set. My grandpa built that shit into the ground.
Oh
like
yeah,
cement,
like a real one.
Yeah.
Red wine, UB40.
You know, I probably did listen to that. So that song is definitely on the other side of the
Nice.
tape that had Paranoid on it.
The one that you owned? It was like a recorded?
It was a
Okay,
it was a
yeah.
tape.
Fuck yeah. Turn your thing more towards you, I guess.
Yeah, I've been trying to get the right angle.
I mean, you can pull it out and closer so it's like sitting
There
in
we
front
go.
of you
That's
while you're
the thing to
comfortable.
do. I'm being stupid right now. Wait. Wait, where's the fucking...
Yeah, that's the one that'll pull
That's
it
the
in.
one.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So you do the one that you can pull out a
That's
little.
the- okay,
And
that's the
then
one.
you can move it towards you.
now.
There you go.
Now.
Shit. We're fucking cooking with fucking fire now.
There we go. Tighten that up. Oop.
I like that better.
Them
Yeah.
West Bank girls.
Just whatever, like wherever you want to sit, just put the mic in front of you. It'll make it a lot easier for you.
Yeah, that's true. Fucking, in fact, I can sit back.
Exactly. I'm in my comfy position now.
Yeah.
I think I am
Fucking-
too.
Yeah, this is good.
There
This
we
is-
go.
This is very
This is
good.
good.
This is
very
better.
This is good podcasting. I'm not cutting this.
good. I'm gonna just,
Are we recording right now?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But it's not, I mean, it's just to get things synced up. But
Yeah.
yeah, we can, I mean, this can be a thing. It's not like we started off fucking bad.
Cool. Well, I got this twisted tea. Earl's over there with
Yes.
the PBR.
I drank all of my Twisted Teas.
Fucking
Yes.
cheers.
Ah, the half and half. That's the other one. I get the peach or the half and half.
TJ's drinking tea because he's responsible.
responsible.
Yeah, there we go. You leave me hanging. It's
Oh,
hard.
sorry, I didn't see it.
I get your water down here too.
Oh, thank you so much.
Just blocking Seth's name.
But you can
'cause we
cheers
have
with
a very
tea.
tiny
Show,
box in it.
Yeah, so Seth Mattei is here today.
Yes.
And from Diplocrats, we're excited to have him on the podcast for the second time.
Yep.
But it's the first time you're going to hear anything about it.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, it'll be
Yeah.
the first time you hear it. You heard a lot about it when I was bitching about it.
Oh,
online
yeah, that's
about
true.
It not working.
That's true.
No, it was fun last time. I love the Dead Spies. I love hanging out with you
Hey,
guys.
Yeah, we love the Diplocrats a lot.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
It's fucking.
Earl was the only person I could tolerate in Slidell bars.
Yes. Yeah.
When I was still going to Slidell bars,
Which
for
is
whatever
funny
fucking
because I was
reason.
not the person for a lot of people. That
Yeah,
was at
well,
that
that's
level.
why we liked each other.
Yes, yes. I actually went back to the Pelican Pub. I don't know, like a couple weeks ago. I played a show at Palmetto's, and I went over there because it's fucking right there. And I saw some people from high school that I hadn't seen since high school. It was awkward, really awkward.
Why? What was the last thing you did?
In high school,
Oh, it's just you haven't seen him since high school and
right?
just weird
yeah.
to hang out.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I guess I
okay.
saw one of them in. When
Not
he was
really
going to
friends from
college.
high school, I take it.
No, we were, but like more on
Totally
the like
fell out.
just
More on the
only high school
acquaintance.
friends. Like I didn't school friends. Like we didn't hang out really much afterwards. I saw you because you were friends with my friends.
Right, like
Right.
you said, like acquaintance level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
there
that
we go.
shit is always.
Yeah.
It can be cool, but it can be fucking awkward too.
Yeah, well, it's just because everybody's in like so much of their life now, and it's like,
You missed so much, and you were only halfway in when you.
well,
were
yeah,
friends.
it's like from before. It's like, hey, man, we were in good shape. We were fucking in high school. This isn't a glory for high school because I fucking hated high school. But like to see it now, it's just like, oh yeah, I've been divorced a couple times, or like I had this fucking big ass drug problem, and yada 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 yada. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, that shit's really fun. A town like Slidell.
Slidell.
But I used to love the Pelican Pub. Not really because of the people, but you'd run into like a friend of a friend.
You always would. Yeah, it seemed more local.
There's some people in Slidell who aren't bad people.
That's true.
But I got sketched
you
out.
still live there.
Yes, I do.
I still live there.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
But I live right on the interstate on the way to New Orleans, and like got a good cheap living situation.
You still in that same spot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you want to give your address out to everybody?
I'm
joking.
Do your last 4 of your social? No? All right, fine.
Yeah,
No, we'll move on.
Yeah, I live on Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. But
Nice.
1600. But anyway, no, I liked the Pelican Pub. I think I'd still like just the atmosphere a little bit. It's a good dive bar.
Yeah.
I'm a dive bar kind of guy.
Yes.
People, but
That's why I liked BB's. It was always that place. It was the one spot where it's like last call, BB's Corner Pub. It was
yes,
yeah.
But
that
when it was when it was a shithole and it was last call and you could go see metal bands play, that
why I
place
kept
was
going back
becoming
there.
a scene, and Katrina hit and ruined that little scene, and we had a good one.
Yeah.
Bands were actually coming out from New Orleans sometimes.
Yeah.
To the Pelican Pub?
No, to Last Call in Slidell.
Like in Old Town.
Yeah. Pelican Pub's like right outside of Slidell's Old Town, and we're, I guess, going to get boring with this Slidell shit, but me and Earl are...
It's across from the
natives.
train station, where Times in
Yeah.
Slidell is. It's literally right across the fucking street.
Yeah, it's like an old like train kind of bar.
Yeah.
And, but Slidell bar started to sketch me out when COVID hit.
Hmm.
I hate to say it, but everybody got real Trumpy, and
They have pool
Yeah,
tables?
they did.
yeah,
They do,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Yeah.
and
poo tables.
Pool tables. Nice. That's worse.
but
Sorry.
but no, New Orleans during COVID was much more susceptible to me being around people that I felt kind of more commonality with. And
Yeah.
felt like they were
I just
trying
stayed
to keep us
inside
a little
forever.
bit safe. I stayed inside forever,
thank
but
God. Like, I
But it
can't
was
come
also
out
like-
because of COVID. That's why I don't want to come out tonight.
Yeah. I kind of like that. I use the same way I use my kids.
Right,
I don't
100%.
know,
Oh, well, I would, but my kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but after a while, I was also going through a breakup from like August 2020 on. So like,
Still now?
and no,
But from August 2020 till now.
no but no, like that end of 2020 period post COVID, or well, during COVID really.
Yeah.
But I had to get out. I was talking to some friends, and I could either go to a Slidell bar and be around a bunch of people who made me mad, who were like anti-vax, anti-maskers. I could go to New Orleans and like sit in a courtyard
Right.
where people like knew how to keep their fucking distance and at least
It actually kind of made
be
New
around
Orleans a little
something.
safer.
It did.
Like, for
It
real.
did.
I wanted to talk about, I know we already talked about this whenever you first came here, but because we didn't get to talk about it again, I wanted to talk about when you went to Florida to
Yes.
Yeah.
what is it, the three, what was the number? I'm sorry.
It's the 309 Punk Project.
Yeah, there we go.
Which is on 6th Street in Pensacola, and it's
Is that their, like, area code? Is it 309? Is that what it is?
no.
Oh, okay.
No, 309 is the address of the house.
Gotcha.
It's the street number.
It's
but-
even easier.
But it's an historic place. It actually has been recognized by the city of Pensacola as an important cultural site. But it's been a punk house continually longer than any other punk house in the South, and it's kind of funny that it's in this pocket of the Gulf Coast.
Right.
It's 2.5 hours from here, 3 hours from New Orleans, really. But it's close geographically, and there's really Pensacola's kind of equal distance from New Orleans, Atlanta, Tallahassee. You can get to a bunch of places from Pensacola, and it's a good railroad hub. So this place was originally, I think, like a railroad worker's house for various people traveling the rails, I believe. And then punk rockers started living there probably around the 90s. And I know the band This Bike is a Pipe Bomb formed out of the house. And a bunch of people floated through, and they just have an archive of zines and old T-shirts.
Right.
They're connected to people who were doing things in punk rock and art and political circles and all kind of cool shit. Just spreading community throughout the country, and they're a great hub in this region. And
Hell yeah.
I've been going to library school for a while now, and I'm now in the middle of grad school, so I'm going to be doing a practicum with them and helping sort some archives and do some various other projects, and hopefully doing a bunch of papers as well in the course of finishing grad school, so that I can spend a lot of my degree
Is it like
having an excuse to do punk stuff.
Right, yeah. So is it like you get to write some, and then there's some that you have to write? Like it's like you get to pick a thing, but then also you have 4 that you don't get to pick.
So honestly, I know that before I get my master's, I'm gonna have to do a project that's called a capstone project, and I think that I really don't know exactly what it consists of, but I know there's a paper involved. That's at least kind of comparable to a dissertation.
Right.
But that's more PhD level studying.
But you're still talking like 15, 20 pages.
At least.
Yeah, right. Yeah, to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for now, I've been really delving into 309 zine collection, and I mean, their zine connects so much stuff. They have thousands, and it's everything from stuff about bands to something like Comet Bus. That's a big deal. In fact, Aaron Comet Bus, who was the drummer of the band's Crimp Shrine, and he's still in Pinhead Gunpowder. He was in Cleveland Bound Death Sentence. He's been in a shitload of bands. He was also Green Day's first roadie, coincidentally. But he's had the
Gum Guy?
zine. What's that?
Is it the Gum Guy?
No.
Okay.
No, that was the guitar
The
tech.
guitar tech.
No,
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, we're talking about how if you watch a rig rundown of Green Day, their guitar tech chews a lot of gum. And I'm very conscious about my
Distracting.
mouth noises right now when I'm on this
Right.
microphone.
No, don't be
It's
worried.
more of my breathing that I get. 'Cause it's like
Just hear your mustache.
back up. Yeah,
Well,
right.
we also have this beastly metal band playing right now, and
fucking
you
There's,
know,
Totem, just
a
killing
lot of-
it next door. But
probably not a bad thing to have a little.
Yeah, right.
in
What was
this.
what was the band that guy was talking about outside that they're playing for?
Obsessed.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
Obsessed is fucking awesome.
Yeah, so Cemetery Frost is opening for Obsessed. What, March 20th? I think.
Yeah.
They're the guitarist in Totem, who's here now, is the guitarist for Cemetery Frost.
Nice. They said it was at Siberia.
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
Yep.
And yeah,
Which is quite close to here.
That's going to be a great metal show, but a
Fuck yeah.
really good punk rock and ska show. Diplocrats have a record release show coming March 15th.
Who are those guys?
That's my band. I play guitar and do a lot of our backing vocals. You guys also, and I almost said Bad Mood Lander, Dead Spies.
we have
Yeah, we're
to
playing,
outlive that. Apparently,
Yes.
I think we're
Sorry,
playing Siberia
but,
March 12th with More Cheese. Do you know that fucking
I've
band?
never heard More Cheese.
They, I'd never heard of them, but they're another Chicago-based punk band, and
I like that.
they are in line with like Trying to Get By and Tyler Miller in general.
Oh, cool. I like Ty.
So, or Ty, yeah. I don't know what he actually says.
Yeah. Well, I met him as Tyler, and then
Right,
I
that's
started
the way-
hearing Ty around, so now I call him Ty.
There you go, yeah.
I've met him at least 4 times, so he's my boy now. So he's Ty.
Yes, obviously, yes. But yeah, they're coming through, so we're playing with them, and who the fuck else are we playing with? The Shitbirds. They played our.
I like
album.
Shitbirds.
Yeah, they're fucking badass. The guy apparently was in some fucking band in the early 2000s. The lead singer for this was in a band called like Static or some kind of shit. Total Static or some kind of fucking
Oh
shit.
man, you're gonna be more specific.
Right, yeah. I can't look it
I
up
know
on my
it's
fucking phone, but yeah, as we're recording it. But
Fuck, I was
I'll
just
find it.
checking. Oh yeah, your phone's over there recording us.
Yeah, it is.
I was checking the weather and shit on mine. I don't think it's gonna get as cold tonight as it was supposed to.
No, tomorrow's supposed to, though. I think tomorrow's supposed to be like 20.
Louisiana.
Hey.
crowd.
But
Hang
yeah,
on.
them Fucked in the Head is playing as well. I've never fucking seen them, but they've been coming up around here a lot. So
I've been hearing. I mean,
I've heard the name, and they've been playing.
that's a
decent
memorable
shows.
name.
Fuck
It ain't-
yeah.
It's gonna be like 37 degrees, guys.
Tomorrow?
Today, and
no.
tomorrow, it's like
Yeah.
37 tonight, 38 tomorrow. So
Okay.
we're fine.
Well, maybe this weekend.
Louisiana cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Well-
back to it.
Well, I wanted to talk. I know that we talked about
Oh.
all this last time, and it feels redundant.
Real
but
quick,
I-
though. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Does this place make its own magazine? Like, did they have one, or are they just a spot that people... They always just came, like they never produced anything?
They're a creative hub, and
Okay.
now they actually do. They've been
But not before, right? It wasn't like there was also like an underground fucking magazine came out of
It's
their
hard to
shit?
say because Pensacola's first vegan cafe came about because of this place, and that place is a pretty pretty swanky little restaurant. It's called
Right.
End of the Lawn Cafe, and it's just got a really nice facade, really good food, really nice people own it.
Yeah.
Pensacola's got a way cleaner, more sober scene than New Orleans does, and I think that a lot of creativity just came out of that house. I mean, a lot of records were made there.
Right. Okay, so something could have happened.
Do
there.
they have a lot of magazines from other regions that are there as well?
Yeah.
So they'll have New Orleans punk magazines mixed in with theirs and things
Yes,
like that?
and they'll have people who traveled through, who lived there for 2 weeks, who were from California, who
Brought their shit.
who leave some shit there, and
Right.
it's just incredible. But they published some things, and the latest thing is an artist named Panhandle Slim, who's from Pensacola, who I think now lives in Georgia, and he's the guy. He does like portraits of famous people with like a quote next to it.
Okay.
His stuff's been in my world semi-viral.
That guy does that shit.
Oh yeah,
I've seen his stuff a lot, but they put out a book very recently of Panhandle Slim's artwork. It looks like they're coming out with a cassette of Tim Kerr, who was the guitar player of the Big Boys, his project that was recorded at 309 years ago, and I think they're just releasing a cassette of that.
So there's a stage there?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I think they might throw the occasional backyard party, and they have like musicians who'll play
Yeah,
the living room
DIY.
at like a little film showing. It's a sizable house, but none of the rooms are huge. Like
Right.
Right. Okay.
their performances there are probably packed out at like 50 people.
Okay.
Now the Handlebar is down the street. That's like literally probably about a 5-10 minute walk away, and that's the punk rock bar in Pensacola, and it burned down in the past and got bought by some people who seem to have really good intentions, who really cleaned it up. It's a nice bar,
Yeah.
and they put on all kind of good shows there.
Diplocrats and Dead Spies should play there.
Yes.
That's because I want to go play in Pensacola or go over to
Yes,
Florida.
that would be
Yeah.
the place.
Yeah. But anyway, I was curious about that, and like I said, I know we talked about this last time, but I also wanted to get into a little bit of Diplocrats lore and find out a little bit about the band and when you guys started.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna go piss.
what's happening now? Because I know your album's about to come out.
Yes.
It's
Very
either
soon.
it's
Very
either
soon.
mixed and not mastered, or mastered and finished.
It's mixed, and it's at least going toward the process
Yeah,
of being
it's
mastered.
in its final stages
Yes,
here.
very much so. I don't think I know what it's going to be called yet.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. It's amazing. But I was going to ask what the album was called. Did you have any art for it yet or anything like that?
Dustin has been doing a lot of work on Canva, and I trust his eye with this kind of stuff. And I'd like to get Steve Williams involved, and he wants to be involved. So I'm hoping that we can get something
Mr.
by him.
What Style?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that guy. He's
Yeah.
he's a really good
He
friend.
did,
He's a huge supporter.
That Dead Spies Shitbirds up there.
Yep, that's definitely his art.
Yeah, for sure.
I
I guess he also did the Rock Art Circus right there as well.
You know what's really cool about Steve? I have to shout him out. He's a really good friend of mine, and the first shows I ever went to when I was a kid were at Shim Sham Club on Toulouse Street, and their marquee was totally done by Steve. And
Okay.
I wouldn't have known that because I was a 15-year-old kid just starting to go to shows. But he was probably around the age I am now, maybe a little younger. He was probably early to mid-30s when I was, 15, 16, 17
Right.
years old. And I always saw him at shows and never really knew the guy. And because of his, military background and just the way he looks, big, muscular dude, I always just assumed he was this hardcore New Orleans doom metal kind of guy, and
Yeah.
he loves the melodic stuff, and he and I just hit it off real hard. And just growing up with his art around me, and now having him just being a big supporter of seeing what a big supporter of the scene generally is, and my band specifically, shout out to Steve.
You want to check that video?
Everybody should check out Steve Woodstyle's art.
Yeah, for sure. He booked us at where does he book at, or used to book at the Poorhouse?
The Poorhouse in Jefferson.
Yeah.
Pretty much down the street from where we're at right now.
I never know where I'm at down here. I have to look at my maps.
It's close. It's right off of Jefferson Highway, and Jefferson Highway is right there.
Yeah. I just get turned around so easy.
Right.
It takes me 10 years to figure out my way around the town I live in. I'll
got a
move somewhere
pretty-
new and I just completely get turned around.
Shit.
I've got a pretty bad sense of direction. myself.
I don't know what it is. Everywhere I look is north. That's what it like in my head. Just having moving that way. I don't know.
But yeah, Diplocrat stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do y'all want to know?
I want to know
we
the
had a fun
I
story.
want to know the formation. I want to know who were the first members. I want to know how did you pick members. I'd like to know any of that. Really.
Dustin, Paul, and me. And honestly, Todd Bordelon, who used to be in Dirty Dingus, amazing guitar player.
I feel like I know his name. But.
Yeah, he's
I know that guy.
amazing.
He's a fucking nut.
Yeah, things just didn't work out with that, but and I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to get in any bullshit because I love and respect Todd. Just a lot of stupid things were happening in people's lives at that time. We were all kind of becoming adults and turning 30 and being in their real late 20s and things like that. But the first members of the band, I'd really say that Dustin and Paul had a plan to start a band. And Paul was getting his master's degree in Germany at the time.
Okay.
He was going to Heidelberg University, and he was sending Dustin files of songs, really cool shit that he was recording a garage band. That was really a direction I'd never even thought about, as far as sounds. And I was coming out of a band called Test Subjects. I was finishing my associate's degree at the time, which sounds petty and quaint, I think, but I was.
I think it's fine.
I was doing.
I've never been to college.
I was doing.
So it's amazing.
I was doing some schoolwork, and I was kind of at a point where I was between jobs, starting to work at the library, things like that. Still doing a little food service, and I remember being in kind of a low place and being really depressed about not having a band.
How long did you not have a band?
Like a year and a half or 2 years or something.
Okay. Felt like you just came out of that band. It's like, man.
No, I mean, I'd been jamming with people. Nothing had been coming to fruition.
Yeah.
I had a couple
I know
little
what you mean.
projects that just never did anything. And I've loved everything Dustin's ever done musically. We were always friends, but that kind of acquaintance friend that you were talking about. We traveled in similar circles, but we're never close.
Yeah.
We were in driver's ed together, though.
He does seem to have like a really good quality on stage. Like Diplocrat's the only band I've seen.
He's a
him
good
in.
front man.
But
sure. I was playing with him with Big Fat and Delicious a lot.
Well, when we were in high school, he had a ska band called Samurai Deli.
Yeah.
And Samurai Deli were like famous
And that was with
when we were in
Cash,
high
too,
school.
right?
Cash was the bass
Yeah,
player.
that was huge back then.
They ended
Cash,
up,
your drummer in
Yeah.
Diplocrats.
they ended up having a bass player named Casey Webster later, but Cash started Samurai Deli with their drummer Willie Ferenczi.
Yeah, the band was huge in Slidell. Like,
all
huge.
of us are still friends.
And it's huge everywhere, but like it was, the first real big famous fucking punk band I knew about that way.
Yeah, and they were really more of a ska band, and they rode that more, I think. But they were all, in my eyes, very punk rock kids. And we all grew up together, so Dustin was always a great front man, and then he had Big Fat and Delicious that probably started around 2009, 2010ish.
And that had D-Ray in it.
D-Ray was in that band. Josh White from High was in that band.
Yeah. I liked High.
Shout out High.
What's he doing now? He's
Still
another
in
fucking
High,
band.
right?
Is it?
But he also, I think the Melters might still get together occasionally.
Okay, yeah.
Josh is great though.
Yeah.
He's also, I know he does some sound engineering work.
Yeah.
All around good musician,
Oh, yeah.
great dude.
Yeah.
He's another record nerd, so I love talking about records with that guy. But anyway, so Dustin was in a couple bands. I always knew him as a great front man. I always admired what he did, and we had a past. So he ended up calling me up out of the blue, like in a pretty down moment. I think I was literally thinking about, like, fuck, I don't have a band right now. And, like, my phone rings, and it's like, why is Dustin calling me? And he's like, hey, man, you want to come over and play some music sometime? And I was like, fucking yes.
Right, yeah.
So we got together, and immediately, like, that guy's focused, and he's a great songwriter, and he's always got songs in the bag, which I'm a slow songwriter, so sometimes it kind of fucking irks me. So it's like, fuck, written 2 songs this year. You just wrote fucking 10 last week. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But
I know that.
but he's incredible. And, we got together, and we pieced a bunch of shit together. Probably learned like 5 of his songs and 2 of mine in the first night we hung out, and then Paul sending stuff to Dustin like, this is what I want to work with when I get back.
Yeah. So just covers of
And-
DeHost.
No, no, it was killer songs.
Right, yeah, no, I'm sure.
Killer songs.
He's a fucking badass guitarist, for sure.
Yeah, and like this stuff, he was like making beats. He had like this like really like esoteric kind of sound going on, even through GarageBand. Like it was very lo-fi, but like it was indie pop basically,
Right.
you know. And it's like, oh fuck, we have this angle happening, and I'm always coming from kind of a thrash angle.
Right, yeah.
The Ramones are my favorite thing in the fucking world, and but I also am a big jazz fan, and I love pop music.
yeah.
I'm obsessed with music. It's just the angle that I come from is thrash, and
Right.
Dustin has this like world music, reggae, ska, folk bent that's just fucking incredible. And then Paul's coming from this like indie pop side, and I knew, I was like, we're gonna have arguments, but
But the music is going to be
but this
fire.
is gonna be really good.
Yeah.
And you know, Todd was in play at first, and that didn't really happen. And we had Charlie Mashicoti playing drums for us. And,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlie played drums for us for
Nice.
probably about 2 years. And
wow. Who's that? I
He's-
said, "Oh wow," and then I realized,
Charlie-
like, I don't know this guy.
Charlie
known him
is
from
a
around the
Slidell, New Orleans fucking character.
Okay, very cool.
he's
Shout
a-
out Charlie.
He's a heavily, definitely shout out Charlie.
Yeah.
He's a heavily tattooed fucking madman drummer.
Yeah.
And he's living in Chicago now and actually doing really good for himself. But like I think he's definitely a licensed plumber, and he definitely knows how to like do like butcher work. So it's just Charlie's got some interesting professional things
Right.
going on, and now he's in Chicago. I talk to him occasionally. I'm still a good friend, but he was our original drummer. He came up with this in high school as well. He actually
Yeah.
played the band Stash Pocket,
Okay.
who were kind of Samurai Deli's little brother band. Who I don't really want to glamorize this, but like Stash Pocket were a Slidell thrash punk band that were literally made up of like 15-year-old heroin addicts. They were fucking nuts.
Is that the fucking?
But
Is that the band Paul was in?
yeah, Paul's in that.
Yeah. He played us the album that he had, and I
I didn't hear.
could have
it, I
sworn
don't
it.
think.
Yes, he played it here.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
maybe
was
I
Stash
did hear it.
Pocket. Every time he played it, like for his thing, that was the band.
Oh, okay.
His old stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
And fucking
and-
shit killed.
And Paul and Mike, the bass player, may or may not have been
I'm not saying
dabbling
any of
that
that.
much.
Yeah, I'm not saying
but
any things like that.
but their singer was definitely doing some things, and and Charlie wasn't an innocent high school kid, but
Well-
fucking
Well, how did Adrian get into the fold?
Adrian was in Dirty Dingus, and
That band used to fucking rule so much. asses.
that band was like the best punk band in
That shit
Slidell.
was so good.
I went and saw them. Just
Whoever their singer was fucking amazing.
Keith Hogan. Keith
Thank
Hogan's
you,
still
yeah.
my roommate.
Keith Hogan?
Yeah.
Is that who the fuck it is?
Yeah.
The guy that fights with Joe all the time? The fucking mow
Yeah.
your lawn motherfucker?
Yeah.
Keith doesn't mow his
Yeah,
lawn.
that's the singer of Dirty
That's
Dingus.
fucking hilarious. I just thought he was some jerk off that like to argue with Joe a lot.
Nope.
Like, I got a friend that guy. Yeah, I loved his shit so much. I remember
Yeah,
seeing
no.
them outside of Java Jungle, and it was the first punk show I'd ever been to. I was like 15, and like I walked out from Slidell High over to the fucking places right across the street, and I think I'd stolen a bunch of fucking Crown from my dad. And I go,
Oh,
do you
nice.
remember this guy Nick Trotter?
That name sounds familiar. I don't think I knew him.
Okay, he drank all of it and then started passing out all over the place.
That sounds like a Slide all night.
Yeah, it was day.
Sweet
It was like
Slide
4. It was like 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But yeah, he had the fucking porn bass. Adrian did.
Adrian had the porn
and
bass.
then the fucking whole set was just like, oh fuck me, man. This is the bands that I heard that were playing at Java Jungle and just around me, like shit bands. They're fucking Godsmack cover bands. They're crap. And then these guys came around with original music and just like destroyed it. Destroyed the whole fucking set.
Yeah, they were really fucking good. Like, I had been going to punk shows, for a couple years. I was about 17, and this weird kid in one of my classes was like, "Oh, you're into punk rock? You ever this local band Dirty Dingus?" And he just like had the demo CD, and it was like,
Was it Adrian?
no.
Oh, damn it. That would have been funnier.
No. Adrian's 4 years older than me, and he went to Salmon.
Jesus.
I went to North Shore.
He is?
Adrian's by far the
thought he
oldest
was
member.
younger
of
than
Diplocrats.
us.
No, no, he's
Younger
he's
than me.
Those good Spanish jeans.
he's Honduran. Yes,
Yes.
he's fucking a handsome
right?
young looking old man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's also like the coolest person I know. But
So laid back. He's ridiculously cool.
but anyway,
Yes,
I
we'll
hear-
stop sucking his dick.
I hear the Dirty Dingus demo from this weird kid in high school, and I was like working at McDonald's, like you do, and
As you do, yes.
my mom taught an art appreciation class at Delgado Community College,
Nice.
and Keith was in her class. And one of my friends had some nefarious dealings with another member of that band. And so like they had a reputation. I heard their demo, and my mom's like, there's a dude in my class, he's fucking amazing artist, not a great student. He's got a screeching weasel patch on his book bag or a pin or something. So, I commented on it, and his ears perked up when I said my son was into punk rock. So he starts giving my mom flyers to Dirty Dingus shows in class. Like, hey, your son should go to this. Right. And I was 18, and I happened upon... I didn't know these guys were all from the same neighborhood as me either. They lived on the other side of Kings Point. I lived in Old. They lived in New. So, like...
That's like right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So fucking... One day I go to I'm 18, I'm going to get cigarettes for my 16-year-old girlfriend, and walk in the gas station, and I see Keith. And they had a website, they had a little local lore. I'm like, you're that dude. And he's like, wait a second.
You're the guy.
You're that kid.
Right.
And so it was instant friendship. And I didn't get to know Adrian that well at that time, but definitely hung out. They took me under their wing. I had a lot of friends who were doing some bad drugs at the time, and they were... I was like...
That was literally 2000 Slidell.
Yeah, we were 18. Everybody's
shit.
on pills, meth, and heroin.
Yeah.
And they were 21. They're like, you know what, 18-year-old kid, probably not good to contribute, but, you can drink beer with us as long as you don't shoot heroin with your high school friends.
Right.
And I think that was responsible.
I felt like that was as responsible
sounds
as you
like
could
good
get.
friends, actually.
Yeah, they're really good friends.
Yeah. We're also going to teach you how to fake an MRI.
And we're fucking 40 now, and we're still friends.
Yeah,
so that's how that
when you
went.
needed a bassist, you thought of Adrian?
Yes. Well, Adrian was in my band Test Subjects, and we both play guitar in that. Adrian was coming out of a lot of stuff, of not playing music for a little while, and just started hanging out where we were practicing. And Mike Lupton was in Test Subjects. We used to play at his house. And he was actually the bass player, and Adrian played guitar with me. And at some point, we had some lineup changes, and shit got weird with the Test Subjects at the end. But but Adrian played bass, and fucking he was the bass player in Dirty Dingus. I knew the dude could shred.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So when Diplocrats needed a bass player, people had ideas, but I was like, we have to get this guy.
It's this guy. Yeah. That song "Hey" with that fucking bass line he's got in the beginning is just so sick.
Well, that's how Adrian does shit. It's so natural. I had those goofy opening chords for that song, right? And that was the first thing written. And I was like, Adrian, I've got this little riff, and I'm stuck. Come over. And he came over, and I started playing that, and I swear within 30 seconds he was playing that bass line. And I was
would 100% believe that shit for sure, for real.
It's okay, now it's a song.
That's your thing now. Yeah, this is your song now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
How did Cash end up playing drums?
I think,
and is this the first band he played drums in?
I think so. Yeah, I think it is the first band he ever played drums
he was
in.
either playing guitar or bass. Mostly bass though. Huh?
Cash is an amazing.
He doesn't play guitar apparently. When I asked him the other day,
can.
he said he mostly plays bass on guitar.
He also said he can't play the drums.
Oh, that's true. And he fucking kills it. So never mind. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Cash is a really
it's just Cash.
Cash is a really good musician. I don't remember if he was in Loyola Jazz Band, but I think he played in a jazz band in college.
Shit, right.
He's a good musician.
Did he go to Loyola?
I think so. Great bass player. I always knew him as a great bass player from the time he was fucking 14. And another person that I was just more of an acquaintance with.
Another band he was in.
He was in Samurai Deli, and he was in
some of the Radiators. Is that no? That's not. That's an actual New Orleans band.
Yeah.
I thought it was something with an R.
We're actual New Orleans bands.
Well, you know what I mean, the jazz New Orleans shit. When you think of when you're putting on fucking Mardi Gras music, Radiators come up. You know.
You used to get
this. Was it the Melters?
No. Cash was not the Melt. No, he was in Big Mad Conductor. What the
That's
fuck?
it.
Why
Thank
didn't I
you.
remember
God
that?
Damn it, that's it. That's the one. That's what I'm thinking.
No,
of.
I'm an idiot for not thinking about that in 2 seconds because we actually played, like, we went on tour to play 3 shows with Mad Conductor on the East Coast, and that was
okay.
the connection. But
That was like the big band I knew him from.
they were fucking
Yeah.
incredible.
Well,
And-
obviously Samurai Deli, but like that one
Yeah.
was like that one felt like he was in it. Like
yeah, and
I don't know.
I always
more
liked
things.
that band, but like after playing some shows with those guys, and you know, Chris is like the staunch leader of that band, and that guy's incredible. Dustin and I think all of us probably learned a lot making that East Coast trip and just spending 3 or 4 days
Right, doing
just
it.
feeding off of that dude. You know,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So, you had seen him play drums before or anything like that?
no.
Or-
The deal was he was starting to play drums. He could kind of see that that Charlie might not be around much longer. And he was like, I think he was whispering in Paul's ear, like, hey, if anything happens, I've
Right.
been playing drums, and I kind of want to be a drummer in a band, and
Right.
I think that would be a good band to do it. And honestly, I was skeptical. I had somebody else in mind, and
He fucking crushes, dude.
and Cash came in, and well, first he was really kind of subdued. He was obviously kind of still learning,
Right.
and he wanted to really. What I loved was he got a feel for the song. And he's really good at doing that.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he got a feel, he did start crushing.
Right, yeah.
But
I feel
he's
like Paul gets that way with this shit.
I
You
feel the
it's
same
like-
way.
It's like maybe you don't know rudiments of shit, but like when you know what you want to play, it happens.
those guys know it needs to rock,
Exactly.
though, especially in a
Yeah.
live setting.
Oh, he fucking crushes it. But there was some shit about it. Yeah, well, just for a guy that says I don't really drum or I don't know how to fucking drum, he drums so fucking amazing. And like, you know, Billy will come through with dial drive and all that
And-
shit. And it's like, I don't. This guy says he's a drummer. You say you're not a drummer. You both drum pretty fucking close. Like, and this guy's killing it.
Yeah.
How are you not considering yourself like a drummer? You know.
Well, you're always in your head too, and
Right,
That's
yeah,
true.
That's
You're never
all.
as good as everybody else knows you are.
Right.
In your own head.
Yeah, yeah.
But
No, that's true.
I
hate
think-
everything that I play.
I didn't even know the Diplocrats till I went to see that show with you had brought me to a show at the House of Blues whenever they were playing.
You hadn't seen him before then?
I hadn't seen you guys
Oh,
play.
shit.
I think
That was the first time seeing us.
I believe
What
so.
the fuck?
I believe so.
We
That's
didn't
insane.
We didn't play that show at Southport Hall.
Was that after?
I think
That
had
was
to be-
before.
Was it?
That was before.
Okay.
Because we played that show, and then the next day we left to go to the East Coast.
Okay.
You guys played with us at Southport.
Pretty sure.
We did show. We did.
Didn't
a
we
show
play
with
the
them.
same night as Crowbar?
Was that show?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh
okay.
shit!
Played
Okay.
the same night as Crowbar
Never
in like the
mind.
side room, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Wasn't-
I remember
did-
meeting
was,
you all that night. It was Diplocrats and Bad Mood Lander and
Was it Jack Locke?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. Why did I think that was a different band? I think I was thinking about that drug
Drug Church.
church show.
That show was
Yeah,
different. Yeah.
Okay. Fuck. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Well,
you're good. I don't
hadn't
have a
really-
great memory either.
Was that before? I felt like that was after.
That was before
Damn.
because that was in 2018.
So I thought
and-
you guys knew them.
And I
'cause we
remember
did
the
it
House
with
of Blues
shit.
show was in early 2019, and the only reason I know that is because for some reason at the beginning of 2019, like we were all hanging out at Dustin's house, like I think the whole band was, and when midnight hit, Cash was like 2019, and when we hit the stage at House of Blues, it was like probably 8 or 10 days later, Cash
No.
went 2019.
Right. What might have
And I
happened
remember that
is
moment.
that I knew you. I mean, I obviously knew you guys way more than they would have known you. So maybe, like, because I did bring them out to that fucking show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the deal.
Yeah.
But whenever I saw you guys at the House of Blues, like I was fucking blown away.
Oh, yeah, you guys ruled that
that was the
stage
sh-
for
well,
House of Blues stage, too.
Yeah,
It was like,
really. And
fucking cool.
I had a hard time that night, but I think I really pulled it out on
yeah,
stage.
yeah. That was the first time I
We all
saw
did.
Dead Sled Funeral Company, too, because I think
Yeah.
they closed it out and they fucking.
Was that the
Holy
band that
shit.
Mange plays bass in? Goth rock
No,
kind of band?
It's goth
Goth
rock, yeah,
rock, for
but
sure.
they have a different bassist now.
Okay,
Yeah.
but that really gothy guy, Mange, like that dude's
Yeah.
cool. He's like
I'm
a
pretty
death
sure.
punk kind of guy.
I don't know.
he was intense that night,
Yeah.
playing bass for sure. He
Yeah.
was
Who
like
was
in
he
it.
was playing with Pete recently, and that's their new bassist now.
Okay,
But Pete isn't a thing anymore. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
Oh wait, no, it was a different bassist from then.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
The
okay.
guy now is somebody different than back then,
Oh,
so I
okay,
don't
gotcha.
remember if that was Mange or whoever.
Yeah.
Is that the soundtrack to Cockface Killer 3?
Yes, it is. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got that from
Let me see this
Bill.
thing.
Yeah, fuck yeah. It's got some, actually, it's got a couple of bands I hadn't heard from in a while. Do you remember the band Toxic Rot?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on that bitch. That dude hit me up like 3 months ago. I was just like checking in. It's like, I haven't talked to you in 5 years. I'm so glad you're still like alive and doing well. Like,
That's
holy
fucking
shit.
awesome.
Was it John Solakovich?
I think him and Joe are pretty tight, aren't
big
they?
time. Yeah, him and like, was it RJ Duncan? It was definitely the Mandeville scene. You know, the Mandeville metal scene.
Okay. I didn't realize Joe was a big part of the Mandeville metal scene.
He was a.
There's
I
a
always-
Mandeville metal scene?
Yeah. Well, I always saw him at the parties. You know.
Damn.
So yeah, like Toxic Rot
Shout
was
out
on that shit.
Mandeville metal
metal
scene.
scene.
Hell yeah. There isn't one anymore. Well, they had one for a little with that Hideaway Lounge, and then that bitch shut
Yeah,
down.
that was a
within,
drag. I
like,
wanted to play
less than
there
a
just
year.
because it was only like 5 minutes from my house.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been awesome.
I think we could have. I think we turned down a show.
I asked, and then but I think I was asking whenever they were on their way to close.
Right, probably that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like, not accepting shows right
not
now.
gonna play here.
Not gonna.
I'm not gonna play here anymore.
Yeah. But anyway, well, you've already recorded a new album with the Diplocrats too, then.
Yes.
And when did that start recording?
Last year, like end of 22.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it'd been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we started December 22. We kind of wrapped October-ish, September-ish of this year, something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, because I think they started recording right when we were starting to
Yes.
record our shit.
Yes.
Well, what's the difference between this album and the old album?
I think that we
Piss again. I'm sorry.
we feel the studio a little bit better on this one. Recording with James Whitten was an amazing experience. I feel like we've all partied with Brian Pretis a little bit more than we did with James, so just the vibe there was very friendly and
So where's this
very
at?
conducive to rocking. Both of those studios were at
Fontainebleau?
at Fontainebleau, yeah.
Yeah. And what's the name of the one, James Whitten's studio?
James Whitten is Hightower, and I don't even know if Brian really even has a name for his.
Okay.
But he's got a really cool setup
And you recorded the first album with Brian?
with James.
Oh, with James.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. So Brian was the one that you did the new
Yes.
album with. Okay. That's
Yeah,
what
I think
thought the whole
just
time.
it's a different set of ears. We're also going to have Brian master it, which I think is going to give it a little more dirt than we got having a different mastering engineer last time. You know how it is. You listen to your own stuff for long enough, and you just find all the flaws. I try not to even listen to things after I'm done with it. I feel like, you
let
know,
the rest of the band do the mastering or stuff
no,
like that.
not even that. Like I want to participate in that as much as possible. But once it's done and once it's out in the world, I don't really care to hear it unless it's by happenstance. And if it sounds good in certain moments, that's how I judge that I've done a decent job.
I listen to my shit all the time.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. Not because I'm constantly wondering. I guess every once in a while I'm loving it, and every once in a while I'm hating it. And whenever I'm hating it, I'm trying to figure out why I hate it. So whenever I come to practice again, I can make it better.
Now, don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
do listen back, occasionally, but like, I can't remember the last time that I put the Diplocrats record on just to listen to it. It was always to remember how to play a song, or or to give it that critical ear, and it's never for enjoyment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like listening to my shit, especially whenever we first record it.
Right.
I'll listen to it until I'm sick of it, and then I'll try to listen to it every once in a while. Like now, I think I'm sick of the album. I can't listen to it again.
I can't listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing.
I can't wait to record
we
again.
We did have that like triumphant car ride on the way. We were like on the road to go play shows, and it's like, let's listen to the final mix down.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, we fucking did it.
yeah.
Yeah. But also now I need new songs.
Yep.
Yeah. So fucking addicting. Like
Yeah.
this.
Well, it's
so
also it's
expensive.
just the constant like need to accomplish.
Well,
you know,
plus every song that you write after that is inherently better. And
You think
even
so?
if it's even if it's not, you're more jazzed up about it. That it's like
Because it's new.
Fuck all these other songs, man. Like this is so much better than it. And then
That's true.
when you record it,
That's
you're like,
true.
oh yeah, this was fucking straight trash. But you know, like in the moment, it's like this is brand new. This feels different. This is good. This isn't the same song I've been playing all fucking year.
True.
But it is.
I can't wait to
It is the
record
same
again.
song.
And like Dustin is a front man, like I really have to talk him up a little bit because he's not even a big Descendants fan, but somehow his energy and his timbre of his voice remind me of Milo.
Yeah.
But like a reggae folk version.
Nice.
And I love being in a band with that dude.
Yeah. I like that kind of shit because I don't listen to a lot of punk like that. You know, the punk that I listen to, I don't even know if you fucking call it punk anymore. And I definitely don't listen to a lot of, like, all the shit you're bringing around. It's like, holy fuck, these guys are great. Oh, yeah, they were out in 99, 95. It's like,
Yeah, I love Leatherface since you brought it
yeah,
up
I know,
last
right?
time.
Oh, nice.
Dillinger
Yeah.
4 with the fucking, like, I've been listening to them so much. You know, it was like,
Well, like
I would
you
never-
know, we
no.
talked about this last time, but we should probably get into it a little bit. Like, to be clear, like, I don't want to talk bad about like anybody who may be neurodivergent but I think that I might. I've never been tested for autism or anything, but I really think that I'm like hyper focused on some stupid shit.
Gotcha.
And there's some ADD going on. There's probably some OCD going on. I definitely have like anxiety and depression issues.
yeah. Who doesn't?
But right. Let's be honest.
Life
For real.
is hard.
Yes.
I don't even know about
Yeah.
hard, but it just sucks ass.
Yeah. It's
Like,
fucking
just
rough.
in general,
it's
it
fucking rough.
blows.
But and that's why we have to do things like this and hang out with our buddies. And
Fuck yeah.
fucking
Write some music.
blow off some steam.
That's what I'm saying. That's why the next song is always better.
But I've always been kind of a collector nerd. I love books. I love movies. I love albums. And like my parents had a great vinyl collection.
Nice.
They had a good VHS collection.
I had a
you
lot
know?
of that one. VHS.
So and they were pretty cultured. Like my mom came from like the folk side. My dad came from more of the rock side. But like
yeah.
he likes weird shit. He's into Frank Zappa, you know. So he was bringing that shit around when I was young. And
Actually, a lot of the albums that I listened to when I was younger that I thought were my mom's were actually my dad's.
really,
Yeah. Like, we would listen, lots of Leonard Skinner, a lot of fucking Southern rock. And then my mom would listen to Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette.
No shit.
All the time. My dad bought that album. He bought that for himself.
my dad had that album.
That's what I'm
See,
saying, yeah.
My dad had more contemporary shit. Like when I was about 5, he got Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Right,
by the
yeah.
Red Hot Chili
We had that
Peppers.
shit. I think he had 7 Mary 3, that fucking cumbersome shit. Yeah, like, but he was into that shit. But then on the same sense, it's like, all we're listening to is fucking like 70s Southern rock. Like,
Right.
Or, Black Sabbath, like fucking.
There was definitely
70s
some
classic
Southern rock going on. My dad loved Skynyrd, but like, but like my mom got me into Joni Mitchell and Bob Dylan
Right.
and James Taylor, and my dad
James
got
Taylor
me,
for sure. Yeah.
My dad got me into Zappa and fucking probably more of the Stones. He definitely, like, when I started getting into punk rock, he pulled the Lou Reed album out.
Nice. Yeah.
It blew me away. But I'd get into Green Day and buy like the Spin magazine that had
Yes.
them on the cover,
Uh-huh.
and I would fucking collect those rock magazines.
Oh yeah. What was
And
the other one? Carnival. Or
There was
some shit?
Carnival, there was
That
Spin,
one
there
I
was
did.
Hit Parader, there was
Hit Parader,
Alternative
that's
Press,
the fucking one I always had.
fucking
Hit
Rolling
Parader.
Stone. There were so many periodicals,
Right.
And then they had just an underground network of zines in the punk rock scene,
Right.
and that's where you started getting into the really underground.
When
shit.
I started going more to New Orleans and started seeing
Yeah.
that kind of shit, like Anti-Gravity and all that kind of shit, it's like, oh, this free? This is fucking for whoever?
Well,
like,
I was
didn't
also
even have to
lucky
know
in that
about it.
regard.
It was just there.
I went to New Orleans a lot as a kid.
Right.
My mom's dad, my grandpa on that side, and my step grandma Laurie, who's a hippie guitar player, folk musician. She's fucking awesome.
Nice.
But they lived on Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
Probably about a 15, maybe 10-minute walk to the Mushroom.
Right.
And like I would walk to the Mushroom when I was fucking.
I love
13
that
years
place,
old.
man. Yeah. It's still around, right?
Yeah.
I think we looked it up. Yeah, I think it's still around.
It's not the same as it was then.
No, of
but-
course not. But like, yeah,
But it's
when
still
I
there.
started actually going to New Orleans, because my parents we went to New Orleans when we first moved down here. My mom wasn't gonna go, and my dad brought us out, but he didn't understand like Mardi Gras and all that kind of shit. So we went out to like Endymion when I was like 10.
Oh, no
and
shit.
my fucking daughter, my sister was like 8. And we're trying to like wade through the sea of fucking people at French Quarter. It's like that was the last time we ever fucking went out
Yeah.
there.
See,
you
both
know?
of my parents are New Orleans
right,
through and
no,
through,
we were
and like.
fucking up north. you
Gotcha.
know?
Yeah. My parents are very New Orleans, and like, I did Mardi Gras young.
Right. That's the way it is with
My
the
dad and I
wife.
would do the
Like,
fucking the trashy Mardi Gras when I was,
Yeah.
13,
yeah.
14 years
Yeah.
old.
Amy went to all of it. I mean, her fucking mom grew up in the French Quarter, so it's like
Oh,
that
nice.
was not a fucking problem for them. They went to all the fucking parades. They went out. They did the thing. It's like, let's do that. I want to do that. Yeah.
So, the new album's coming out on March 15th.
That's when the release show is. I'd be lying if I said I had the actual release of the album, but look Diplocrats up.
Look at this is it. I think only. I think this song is about gay butt sex. This one definitely. Guide Me and My Dick. Bundies and Your Undies. Yeah, I think only 3 are about gay butt sex this time.
Something like that.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Something like that.
Is there anything else you'd like to plug?
Besides
I mean,
CJ's
other than
butthole.
butts, now that
Yeah, right.
Earl's talking about
Obviously,
that.
just the butthole.
But no, just look us up on Bandcamp, look us up on
Fuck yeah.
Facebook and Instagram and whatever the fuck you do your internet shit on. If we haven't posted in a while, fuck it, follow us, give us some patience, and we'll post about the album when we figure shit out. We got like kids in graduate school and delirium.
It's a
and
lot of shit.
I'm excited to hear
crazy
it, though.
life going
I
on.
really
I'm
am
super
excited.
excited,
We
yeah.
heard mixes that Paul had showed us.
Yeah.
Some of it with vocals,
Sounds so
some
good.
without. I
You
think.
like it?
Yeah,
Fuck
dude.
yeah.
It's fucking
Fuck
sounds
yeah.
great.
Yeah, I think it
really
rocks.
sounds.
I was stoked.
Yeah.
If I could come out to that, I wish I could come out that weekend, but my daughter has a competition in Biloxi. It's like the one weekend this year I cannot fucking go to shows. Like, at
Go
all.
watch your daughter cheerlead, Earl.
I'm
Yeah.
going
Got
to.
to.
Yeah. Well, I won't because it's a Friday night. So, like, she's going out there to eat dinner with the fucking dance crew. I'll go the next day. But
Wow. Excuse me.
thank you. But I'll be with my son all night, so I can't bring
Yes.
him out there.
You can't bring him to a punk rock show?
I mean, I could, but they don't let them in for some reason. It's like, I'll pay double,
sure?
man.
I'm not 100%. You wouldn't let a child in.
100% they will not.
Put some earmuffs on, little motherfucker.
Yeah. Is it an outside gig?
I think it might be. It's
If
called
it-
the Courtyard Brewery.
That means it's a brewery, though.
I went to the Abita fucking tour when I was like 7.
Yeah, it's not in the Abita Spring.
It's in the
It'd
Abita
be a
Brewery.
brewery.
Yes, a brewery where beer and adults go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I went there at 7.
it's 7. Yeah, mine is 2. Maybe a little different when I have to carry him in versus a child that can walk in.
Put him on your shoulders.
Yeah, right? No. Just film it.
We're good
I know somebody that can film.
Boy.
for the podcast.
Oh,
Do you
we
wanna-
done?
Do you want to wrap it up, or do you want to
We
keep talking?
wrapping it up. We got nerdy shit to talk about, man.
Yeah, we can keep going. We can wrap it up. I don't give a fuck.
Let's keep going.
All right.
What kind of nerdy shit do you have to talk about?
I don't know. I was talking
Can you
about
grab
like,
another beer?
Yeah,
That
sure.
thing you can help out with? Fuck yeah.
Earl was talking about not hearing about a bunch of these bands, and I was
Yeah.
explaining that I'm just like
Do you want a beer?
an obsessed. No, I've got one.
All right.
So just like I was an obsessive nerd and read a lot of zines, and also just like thank you lists of bands.
Right.
You would find gold.
you.
Like
Yeah.
just looking up the bands,
Yeah.
buying a random CD. Like there was a point like when I started like working, I would probably buy like 3 CDs every time I'd go to the mall.
Right.
And then I started ordering a lot from all the labels that I liked, and like, they would have catalogs. I just remember my dad perusing like a catalog and being like, "There's a band called Rich Kids on LSD. What the fuck are you into?"
They used to have that used CD shop in the fucking Hobby Lobby
Yes.
shopping center. I
Yes.
used to go there all the fucking time.
I bought my
That's-
first Dickies CD there.
I got my first Real Big Fish CD there. And it was like the first time I was like, I'm going to buy a fucking ska CD. Like,
I got Idiot Savant by the Dickies at 10 and Vitalogy by Pearl Jam.
yeah. Great prices. And it was such a head shop. It was more of a head shop
Yeah.
than it was a CD shop. But like, it was
called
fucking
CD Warehouse, right?
awesome. I think so. No. That's an actual thing.
It wasn't CD Warehouse?
Maybe.
I think it might have been a CD
Maybe.
Warehouse.
Okay. Let's go with that. Yeah. Feels like CD Warehouse was.
I rode my
one of the
bike
places
there
for
one
me.
time, and it was like it's the farthest I ever rode my bike is like a 12 or 13-year-old. I was with my friend, and you had to like go through like an interstate overpass. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
riding my bicycle, and I was like, oh fuck, I have to ride down this hill on the side of an overpass, and I was like zooming down the hill, and I fucking fell. Like I flew off my bike and knocked the fucking wind out of myself so hard.
Oh.
And then I went and bought a Dickies CD. And
Yeah, right.
yeah,
I need the dick. I need the dickies. Like, son, you need to get out of here. I don't know what you need, but I ain't got it.
So I think we talked about it last time, but who was the one who got you into punk rock for the most part?
I think it was vagina.
few different people.
That was guitar. We were talking about that.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
no, I'm not gonna say vagina because they were female friends that I had in my neighborhood, and one of them was Chrissy, who lived a couple doors down, and the other one was
3 doors down.
Kristen, who had no relationship to that band. Fuck that pun.
God damn. All right, fine.
Not like 3 doors down. But Kristen was my friend's older sister. And Kristen was like the first person I knew who had like the Marilyn Manson CD. She, I think she ended up getting in trouble and having to get rid of all of her Nirvana CDs, and I got all of her Nirvana.
Nice.
But Chrissy and I were both only children. And sometimes my parents would have like a date night, and I'd go do homework at Chrissy's house.
Yes.
And I was a Beatles fanatic. Like, you got to understand. Like, I had all the Beatles cassette tapes when I was like 7, 8 years old. And my first imaginary band was like, we have to sound like the Beatles.
Clearly.
And of course, we didn't play anything. We just talked about it. But fucking around the time I was 9, I was doing my homework at Chrissy's house. And she's like, I'm going to put my Green Day CD on. She put Dookie on. And when Basket Case came on and I heard fucking, do you have the time to listen to me whine? It hit my 8-year-old brain the right way. And that was like the end of 3rd grade. So like 4th grade, I go in. I'm a fucking Green Day fan.
Right.
I'm starting to get into punk rock. And in 5th grade, this kid Jimmy gave me a Black Flag fucking tape that blew me away. I'd never heard anything that raw before.
Right.
And which tape? Do you remember?
It had the first song on it. It was the first 4 years.
Oh,
the first
nice.
song on it was Nervous Breakdown. Yes. And I just immediately fell in love with that. Keith Morris is the model front man.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty much the inspiration for the way I sing. I just pretty much bark exactly like Keith Morris does.
Well, like I said last week, though, you got a melodic fucking tilt that sounds like your boy from Elway.
Oh, nice.
Which is funny.
Well, I like to hear that.
This new song, though, it's fucking yelling.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Nirvana, Green Day, and then just like I dug into all the bands that influenced them, and there's no better font than those two bands,
right?
Because I mean, first of all, they were very different bands. They were both pop bands that came from the punk scene, and like Nirvana got me into all those noise bands, like the Jesus Lizard and Big Black and
Sonic
fucking
Youth,
Sonic Youth, and the Wipers. And Green Day got me into the Buzzcocks and the whole Berkeley scene, which has a lot of gnarly bands, and Operation Ivy to this day. Like, Operation Ivy's album is my favorite album of all time.
Was Buzzcocks, did that have the guy from the Melvins in it?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's Buzz Osborne is in the Melvins.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
But that's who got Kurt Cobain into punk rock in high school.
Yeah.
But no, the Buzzcocks were like the first pop punk band, really. Like, they were really poppy. They were British, and I think they were around like 78-ish.
I heard just the other day, I was listening to something, Billy Joe Armstrong's going around promoting the new Green Day album.
Gotcha.
And he was saying somebody compared him to the Buzzcocks whenever it was early in his career, and he'd never heard the Buzzcocks. I was like,
I listened. It was on Mark Maron's podcast.
Oh, is that what he said? He was like, I got to go listen to the Buzzcocks. It was like, it's a pretty good album.
We had when we put out the fucking Bad Moon Landers song, the Canyon City.
Yeah.
Somebody put a fucking comment on it. And it was like, it's supposed to be, I guess, like digging into us. And it was like, I mean, it's all right, but it just sounds like some 90s Green Day shit. Like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
fine. Like, what the fuck,
you,
man? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry that I sound like this super fucking famous band that brought in a bunch of people into punk rock.
Right.
So sorry.
Well, considering we never ever try to rip anybody off, it's kind of...
Well, that's the thing of it. That's what I was saying earlier.
That's really when you show your influences on your sleeve, I guess.
That's
when
it.
Not,
That's the thing that I was talking about before. Is like I don't listen to a lot of the other fucking bands. So when somebody tells me that I sound like an older band, it's like, that's fucking great. Because this is what I think of as punk when I'm writing the shit. So if it sounds like something I've never listened to that is good, then perfect. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Like,
it was also funny because I never really got... That was like one of our less punk songs, I felt like.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway.
It might have been the shoot.
It's funny. I went to...
That's true.
I think it's probably still at the Contemporary Arts Center in Mobile, but last Friday I went to Mobile, Alabama real quick, and
I I like Mobile.
And the Contemporary Arts Center's got an exhibit right now that's took like a year to put together, I think. That's the 309 people collaborated with a bunch of people from the Mobile punk scene and put together just this beautiful fucking punk rock exhibit called Hurricane Party.
Nice.
And it's pictures, it's flyers,
Right.
it's...
I like that it's called Hurricane Party
Yeah.
as well. Like,
The opening was on Friday, and there were bands playing. They had films projecting.
that should just be a fucking punk band name.
It's fucking cool. But Scotty and I were talking about it, and he's one of the people that's on the board. He
Of the 309 thing?
yeah, he co-wrote the oral history with Aaron Comet Bus.
Nice. Okay.
Very neat guy, and he and I are becoming friends as I get into this project.
Mm-hmm.
And I got into punk through Green Day, like they like to joke with me. A million other people.
I did too.
And
Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
And like Scotty got into it through Nirvana, and he was talking about how back in the day at 309 they had a Nirvana picture disc on the wall, and he's like, some really crusty people from like the railroads like came to stay at the house, and they came in and they were like, look at the Nirvana picture disc, and they were like, none of us would be here if it wasn't for Nirvana.
Nice.
Yeah. It's nice to say that, and honestly, hear somebody say that instead of just hating them because it's actually, punk rock to hate Nirvana.
Because it's
I wouldn't say, I just never thought of them as punk back
Yeah,
then.
that was-
or just thought of them as like
Well,
alternative rock. I'm listening
I don't
to them on the
necessarily
fucking
think of
Zephyr or
Nirvana as
some
a
shit.
punk rock band, but
Me
I think
neither,
of them as
but they're-
very punk rock adjacent.
Yeah, for
Right,
sure.
yeah, I could go with that, And plus it was Seattle, it was fucking...
And like
literally
Territorial
down the
Pissings is a
street.
fucking punk song. Like
Yeah,
their
for sure.
faster songs are
Right.
fucking punk.
I'd go with that shit. Plus, you got fucking Dave Grohl on that shit. He's ripping off funk albums,
Well-
left and right.
Well, Dave Grohl also grew up in the Washington D.C. scene.
Right. Yeah.
Scream.
Yeah. The DC
And,
fucking hardcore shit is ridiculous.
The people that I've met from that scene, I had a professor and my dad had a friend who came from that scene, and both of them knew Dave Grohl as a kid.
Yeah.
And just, he was the guy who was going somewhere.
Is Madball DC or is that the New York?
They're New York.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. They're fucking bad. I just watched
Madball
their,
Agnostic Front.
Madball just did a fucking some badass fucking show like last year. It was amazing. The fucking-
What scene's got the bands though is fucking Jersey. They got the Bouncing
Yep,
Souls.
uh-huh.
They've got Adrenaline OD. The Misfits. Even though I'm not a huge Misfits fan.
I'm not a Misfits fan. I'm just not, man. I just can't get into it. Not that they're bad. it's not for me.
Misfits?
Yeah.
That surprises me that you're not into the Misfits.
I
considering-
right?
loved them for years, but
Okay.
they're so gimmicky, and they're
just never
they're
got
better
into
punk
it.
bands. Like they're that band. It's like everybody has a fucking Misfits tattoo, and
Right.
I'd rather listen to the Necros or the Dicks or the Minutemen.
Dicks are good,
or
yeah.
they're bands that didn't make it
Dicks
as
are good.
big as. Good plug there.
Right. Yeah. Plug in the dicks.
But they're
Don't.
God damn it.
But there are bands
Don't
that didn't
plug a
make
dick.
it as far as the Misfits, as far as fame, that just deserve to. And I don't know. There are a lot of weird egos and just shitty
Well, it seems like
acts involved.
other
with the
people
Misfits.
tour now. Like Doyle.
Yeah, he
Tours on his
just
own?
does his own shit because he was playing at Portside a bunch.
And does Jerry only tour on his own, or is he still in?
Jerry only
He's
ran
still-
the Misfits after Danzig left, and at first they got
Gotcha.
a new singer. Then it was just like Jerry only and whoever playing guitar and drums. And
Have I seen him solo too?
you've seen him call himself the Misfits.
Oh,
and
okay.
like, I mean, the
Gotcha.
lineups aren't bad. Like the first time I saw them, I think Des Cadena from Black Flag has played
Yeah.
guitar for him for a
Right.
long time. And like they had Robo from Black Flag. The first time I saw him, Marky Ramone played drums.
That's kind of
Nice.
cool.
So it's a money grab now though. They're total.
Oh yeah. Like I'm
They're,
saying,
they're more of a corporation than a band, I think.
when I actually heard the Misfits versus hearing about the Misfits, because everybody, like I said, everybody had the fucking skull tattoo. Everybody loved them, and it's like
The Misfits
well, then I
have no
heard it,
more
it's like,
cred than fucking Kiss. That's what I'll say. Like they're
I like that.
they're the punk rock
Yeah.
Kiss.
Yes, 100% that. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
it's
can
just
see that.
when I listened to him, I was like, this is what you're fucking nutting over.
Yeah, but
Like,
I thought
I'm
that
not-
about Kiss too, because like whenever I was a kid, you saw Kiss, and I thought they were going to sound like
They don't.
satanic
No, I know,
death
same
metal,
shit, Right. yeah.
And then you listen to them, and it's like wanna rock and roll
Yeah,
all
yeah.
night. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And
I kind of dig that
but also,
song.
well, yeah, fucking.
but I wasn't
the songs
expecting
are,
that.
Right.
You know
the
what
songs
I mean?
are good, but you're
Yeah.
expecting like
I wanted to
this
be
is the Devil Army.
Yeah, it should be kids
why?
in Satan's
Why?
service. Like, what the fuck happened?
But then back then it was so ridiculous, you know, because it's like I felt the same way about Black Sabbath. It was like,
oh man,
I like Black Sabbath, but when you listen to it versus what I was listening to when I listened to him, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? People were losing their minds over this shit. Like,
yeah, but you know what? I had that Paranoid tape, and he's at least singing about Satan and fucking dark shit.
Right, yeah.
And this dude with like half a hand is playing these ridiculous fucking
was.
devil riffs.
Yeah,
like
he was.
Black Sabbath rules.
well, plus
Yeah,
they were
they
fucking
do.
putting out a lot of like they were one of the first ones, weren't they? With the fuzz distortion kind of shit that
No,
wasn't
well,
really, but it was like
just the
people weren't
dissonant,
doing,
like,
people
dark-
weren't doing this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
definitely
Because I think Sabbath were a little before them. I mean, Zeppelin were a little before Sabbath.
Yeah,
and then they
So
they
fucking
brought it to a slightly darker place.
Yeah, I would 100% take Sabbath over Zeppelin.
Yeah,
I'm not a fucking Zeppelin fan.
You listen to the first album?
I don't care about any of their albums.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's just like at no point am I like, let's put Zeppelin on. Like I'm not
the
going to
first
shit
Zeppelin
on
album, I'll do
anything
that.
that they do, but like it's been so played out, so done. I'm just so done with it. It was. I think I told him about this shit. It was like when I had met Amy, I was so fucking done with classic rock, all this kind of shit, and she was 2 years younger than me, so she was just kind of like getting into it. So it's like now I'm listening to the Stones, I'm listening to Bob Dylan. Like I wrote these fucking people off. I'm done with this, but now
I was into
it
the
'cause clearly
Doors
I'm
big
trying to
time when I was a
fucking late.
kid. I really like the Doors.
I like
a
the
lot.
Doors a lot.
I like some of their stuff. I really don't like Jim Morrison.
No, he's such a piece of shit.
The Jim Morrison of punk rock did it way better than
uh,
Jim Morrison. Darby Crash.
What's it? That movie though, with Val Kilmer.
I never watched it. I need to
So
watch it.
good. Val Kilmer does
That's the
all the
reason
fucking
why-
singing. Every song that you hear is him actually singing it. It sounds just like fucking Jim Morris.
Yeah,
Is
Or
he dead
Morrison.
yet?
Val Kilmer? No, I
no.
think he's still alive.
Poor guy.
I
doesn't
know.
look good.
No,
Does not look good.
No, he's fucking. I think they have a documentary of him on Amazon
They
Prime
do.
right now. Is it good?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, I want to watch
Fucking
it. 'cause
seems like
it's
it'd be a bummer.
Of
honestly.
course, it's a fucking bummer because it's all.
He looks like shit now, and it's
all
like, it's
videos
gonna end
he
up
shot
there,
from
and we know
there
where-
to the end.
Yeah. So like
I don't
seeing
think
him
he
all
can fucking
happy
like
and good.
talk right now.
No, I don't think so. He had throat cancer or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, like fucked him right up.
But anyways,
All right, on that note,
On that note, I hope you guys have a
I
happy.
hope you have a good
happy and a
throat
healthy
cancer-free
Thursday.
fucking Thursday.
all right. Well, this is coming out next Tuesday, right?
Yeah, throat cancer-free Tuesday.
All right, cool. Well, it's good to have Seth here. Fucking,
Yes.
like I was saying on our post, fucking, you can tell he's a punk lifer. Always,
sure.
always educating us on new music, and I can't wait to hear the new Diplocrats.
We didn't even talk
album.
about half the shit the last time, and it's still new shit.
Yeah,
Like, it's
exactly.
good.
And like I said, I can't wait till the new album comes out. Can't wait to see you guys live
See
again.
them March 15th at the Courtyard Brewery.
Yeah.
What time? You know?
I don't.
Who gives a fuck? They'll probably post
Look
it.
it
Yeah,
up.
Look
Get there at fucking 7 o'clock.
You
and
fucking look it up. You guys look it up.
You look it up.
get there at 7 and take a nap in the fucking hedges. If you
There
know.
you go. There you go. It's a brewery. Get you some fucking beers.
All right, guys. Well, see you next week.
Thanks so much for having me.
Fuck yeah, man.
And having my ramblings because I'm
Dude.
bad at staying focused.
This is
Thanks
Dude,
for
it was
trying.
so great. I'm so
Have you
glad
seen
you
our
came
shit?
back.
It's this. Yeah, I know. Like it's just
Consider
drunken
we
rambling.
lost your shit last time.
That
But
was
anyway,
such a fucking bummer.
thanks a lot, guys.
Yes. All right.
Thanks. That was fun.
I fucking mama.
I gotta piss.